Welcome to the postgame show. As you can tell, I'm not pleased. And there's 11 players on one side of the football for the reason I'm very upset. And that's our defense. Oh my gosh. This had to be, we've given up games. We've allowed so many points this season to several teams. And the weather didn't make it any easier today. But when you look at the stats, oh my gosh, that defense was atrocious. The fact of the matter, if you look at the stats here, that they were able to let Oakland have the ball almost 60% of the time compared to the offense. That's bad. You have got to get the opposing offense off the field. But our defense failed to do that, and the amount of missed tackles I witnessed today was atrocious. I never want to see another missed tackle again for the rest of the season after the amount I've seen today. The amount of missed tackles after the first point of contact that we allowed them to get across the more yardage, a couple extra pushes. And when we look at the stats, they were, let's see, how many yards? They averaged 4.4 yards per play, which is kind of misleading because it feels like so much more than that. I swear that especially our defense against the run was so bad. Like, if you look at our defense, we have a great defensive line, but they were just manhandled today. Myles Garrett playing with an ankle injury or a knee injury, I don't know what's going on with him, but it's absolutely inexcusable as to letting them get more yardage right out. Like, you can't wrap them up and then you let them get more yards. It's just boggles my mind. And the crazy thing is, we've been pretty good against the run, but the secondary has been atrocious. And this kind of opens up the loophole that when they actually start running the ball, maybe we aren't as good as we've seen, as we seem. Because when you look at this team, due to the weather, the long ball was not really going. Neither team was going to throw it long, but it kind of opened up the gaps in this defense as maybe we need to overhaul this defense come the trade deadline. And it's just absolutely ridiculous how many times we wrapped guys up, but they just let them go. I mean, it's just such bad defense, and it needs to be addressed come tomorrow, come Monday, because I'm beyond done. The weather really played into an effect. So those 16 points on a regular day might be like 40. So I don't trust this defense at all, and that's the biggest problem I see with this team. 100% the problem. And when I look at how are we going to fix it? One, it starts with the defensive coordinator. I don't think he calls the right plays, but actually that's the second priority. The number one priority, I don't think we have that great of players on our defensive side. We have Denzel Ward, we have Olivier Vernon, we have Myles Garrett, and from time to time, we have Sheldon Richardson. Those four players are three of them are on the defensive line, and one of them was playing hurt today, was Myles Garrett. But aside from that, the rest of them, you can just get rid of. I have not been impressed with any single one, any single player other than those four this year on the defensive side of the football. So if I'm looking at how to improve this team come the trade deadline, I wouldn't be too against overhauling this defensive side of the ball, because you have so many weaknesses. It's starting in the secondary. Andrew Sendejo, he needs to go. So too many times he just gets beat and just gets beat by his defender and allows wide open receivers in the secondary. Safety is the number one priority I would look at come before the trade deadline, followed by linebackers. We need new linebackers. And as much as I love Mack Wilson, he's been incredibly quiet this season. And it tells today that we just need better players. So this was just a defensive breakdown. We only scored 6 points, and I'll get to the offense here soon. But the fact of the matter that we just allowed, it could have been so much worse. Honestly, their first touchdown that was overturned was honestly a touchdown in my opinion. I thought he got his foot down, so we caught a break there, and then the missed field goal at the very beginning, that's over 20 points. So we caught so many breaks there on the defensive side that we got bailed out, and that this was just showed how poorly we need a better defense, and like how much we need more better players. Now, if we look on the offensive side of the football, I'll take a break away from our defense because our defense sucks. I mean, we all know that. But our offensive, Baker was nowhere near the problem. Actually, he was the only bright side of this game. Baker, I absolutely loved you. He was as good as you can play in those conditions. 12 of 25, 122 yards. And the fact that I did not like how didn't run Kareem Hunt more early, especially right before half when we decided to go like a 15-yard pass. I did not like that decision instead of running Kareem Hunt on first down because he had a heck of a day, 14 carries, 66 yards. He was a great asset on offense. Now, the biggest problem was drops. Oh my Lord. The amount of drops the Browns offense had it almost seemed like it wasn't like if you threw them the ball, it was a 50-50 chance whether they were going to catch it or not. And I don't know if the weather played a part of that, but if the ball hits you directly in the hands, David Njoku catch the ball. And that goes for Jarvis Landry too. There was a couple times, I think on third down, Jarvis just drops it. And that's not like him. Now, I don't know if he's playing with an injury or not, but if you're playing with an injury and you're catching and you're making drops, then don't play. But there's other players we can put ahead of you, other great receivers, and I don't know why we didn't play Donovan Peoples-Jones near as much. And Rashard Higgins only had 3 targets. And I don't know what it is. We need to have guys that can catch the ball, and David Njoku. I'm at the end of the line, and come trade deadline, I think he's one of the guys that we trade off because there's too many times he just drops the ball, and it's been the problem his entire career in Cleveland. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we traded him away because that drop in the fourth quarter on third down was huge. A beautifully thrown ball by Baker Mayfield, a little wobbly, but it hits him directly in the chest. I don't know why he's trying to catch it with his chest and not his hands, but you can't drop that. You cannot drop that. So when you look at this team and you look at its offense, that's an easy fix. You can't drop the ball that many times and expect to win. And Baker threw it in as good as he could, and as good as he could. Oh my gosh, that's hard to say. As good as he could today because of the weather. But Jarvis making a great one-handed catch, but making some very uncharacteristic drops throughout the entire game. And that fumble by Harrison Bryant at the very beginning also was very costly. I mean, I don't believe it led to points, but you can't fumble the ball inside the 30 when you're driving like that. And I think he's a rookie, so he's got to know that. But I mean, fumbles are big game changers. And Harrison Bryant, 3 catches for 25 yards. Jarvis, 4 catches for 52 yards on 11 targets. We can't have drops. So when I look at this team, offense, easy fix. Easy change of play call. A couple play calls where we should have ran Hunt instead of passing the ball. But at the end of the day, it's our defense. Our defense is the biggest problem because if you take away that touchdown, if they give them the touchdown, this isn't even a close game because the defense just fails to stop them. And yeah, I would not be surprised if the Browns did a complete overhaul come the trade deadline, before the trade deadline. So thank you guys for watching the CSBR. I had a blast, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks because they have a bye next week, and then they play the Texans. So hopefully that bye week will be beneficial, but I really don't know. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.